そしてそれは勇気の証。魔法戦隊マジレンジャー。
Our episode starts with Hauka, the Mega Pink Ranger, at a concert watching a band play. At first, she's not impressed with them, but the longer the music plays, she seems to get really into it. Back at the school, Hauka shows up late and gets reprimanded. She tries to explain that she should have the right to have fun, especially since nothing was going on at the time. That night, the wizards are faced with a fight as the monster Wolzard sends his minions after them. Hauka, with a great deal of energy, shows off her skills by beating all of them by herself. Wolzard, seeing his minions defeated, grows, leading to the wizards transforming and them having their normal robot fight. Unfortunately, when the sun comes up during the fight, Hauka is weakened and falls to the ground and can barely move, let alone transform. Wolzard, seeing them as weak, leaves, calling them cowards. Hauka complains that everything is too bright and that she feels sick. When Aurora the Mega Blue Ranger goes to give her some water, Hauka notices she's bleeding and begins to lick her wounds, which Tsubasa, the Mega Yellow Ranger, notices.
それとも飲みすぎ？あ、うららちゃん、血が出てる。怪我？痛かった？ちょっと痛いよ、ほかちゃん。
Back at the monster hideout, Wolzard says that he's waiting for the kids to be at full strength when he faces them. That's when Vampiress leaves, stating that she needs to hypnotize more humans. Back at the school, Hauka comes in and sees a glass of red liquid. She fangs out and goes to drink it, but is disgusted when she finds it's tomato juice. When Tsubasa comes in, she goes to attack him as well, but is stopped.
そうさ、これ。
トマトジュースはお気に召さないようだな。
Tsubasa tells Hauka she's becoming a vampire. Hauka tries to convince him to keep it a secret between them. They try to figure out how this happened to her, which then brings them back to the concert she went to. Back at the concert venue, Hauka once again goes into a trance and begins fanging out as the band performs. Meanwhile, Tsubasa grimaces in pain at the sound of the music. Once the performance is over, the singer send what looks like leech tentacles to suck the blood of all the entranced concertgoers. Tsubasa saves Hauka, then confronts the singers. They explain that the plan is to turn all the kids into vampires and send them off to the light at dawn to die. Tsubasa tries to stop them, but is eventually taken down by the girls, with Hauka coming over to tend to him. After a talk, she tells him that she's going to take her duties as a wizard more serious and is now determined to help the kids. After showing Tsubasa her new determined pose, she utilizes a spell to find where they are and they head out. Outside, we see the kids listening to the sound of the leech monster with the kids fanging out. The Rangers arrive and transform, have a battle with the monsters, eventually defeating it, and as the sun comes up, we see that all the kids are back to normal and they go home. Unfortunately, Hauka is still weakened by the sun. The episode ends with Hauka fanging out and trying to attack Tsubasa, with the rest holding her back. At the monster's hideout, Vampiress is commended for her work in turning the Pink Ranger. Wolzard is disappointed as he only wants to face them at full strength. Back at the school, they have Hauka confined to some type of circle. She's uncontrollable and wildly fanging out. Tsubasa gives her some type of potion that puts her to sleep. Tsubasa vows to find the vampire that bit Hauka and destroy them, but just then they are summoned to another attack from Wolzard. Tsubasa attacks Wolzard, telling him to turn Hauka back to normal. After their fight, Wolzard tells the Rangers that Vampiress was the one who turned Hauka. When they want to know why he's telling them, Wolzard tells them that he wanted them at full strength. Back at the school, Vampiress summons Hauka. Hauka then tells Manager she's sorry before vamping out, breaking the barrier holding her, and leaving. When the Rangers come back, Mandra is beside itself, trying to tell them about what happened to Hauka. When they tell Mandra about Vampiress, she deduces that Vampiress may be the Queen Vampire. She then tells them about something called the Dawn Crystal, which is the only thing that can stop a Queen Vampire. Back at the cathedral, we see Vampiress addressing Hauka. She tells her that she's the queen vampire, which allows her to be in the sunlight. We then see that the band that was singing was just Valkyria in a different form and how she bit Hauka during the concert. They then give her a poisoned apple.
そんな私に噛まれたお前は本当に幸せよ。
どうして私たちが二人に分かれたか知りたい？何千年も一人でいるとね、退屈だから。なんか面白いことないかしらね。
Meanwhile, the other Rangers are exhausting themselves looking for Hauka, who out of nowhere appears carrying a bag of apples. They notice that the sun no longer hurts her. Hauka claims to them that she killed Valkyria and is back to normal. Back at the school, she gives the other Rangers the apples. When Tsubasa gives Hauka her determined pose, she pretty much no-sells it as if she doesn't recognize it. This makes Tsubasa suspicious, and he tosses the sliced apples, much to the dismay of the other Rangers. That is until they see the apples turn to black puddles, and they realize that Hauka must still be under the spell of someone else, as she never buys them anything. Hauka fangs out and then goes to attack the Green Ranger. She eventually runs off right to the hands of Valkyria in her dual girl form. They insult Hauka for failing to dispose of the Rangers before combining and telling Hauka to fight the Rangers. Hauka does as Valkyria wishes, transforms, and attacks the Rangers. Eventually the fight comes down to the yellow and pink Rangers as Hauka tries to protect Valkyria from being shot with Tsubasa's Dawn Crystal. Hauka gets the upper hand and Tsubasa pleads with her to remember. She ends up kicking Tsubasa away, then as she says she's going to protect Valkyria, she gives Tsubasa the determined pose. That allows Tsubasa to shoot the Dawn Crystal at Valkyria, with Hauka getting out the way just in time for Valkyria to get hit. That weakens Valkyria enough for the other Rangers to combine their weapons and destroy her. Before they can celebrate, Wolzard grows and challenges the now combined Rangers to a battle. After a dramatic fight scene, the Rangers are eventually victorious and Wolzard leaves, impressed with their new powers. That night, we see Valkyria has not been destroyed and she vows to never be defeated the same way twice, destroying the Dawn Crystal. Back at the school, Hauka is now a very determined student. The Red and Yellow Rangers agree that they missed the old undetermined version of Hauka. That's when she goes to them and tells them they need to pay attention or else. She then fangs out, but reveals it was a trick.
ちゃんと聞いてね。なんてね。
Thanks for watching. If you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to know every time I update. If you want to help my channel grow, please check out my Patreon where you can get access to content early as well as see the content that can't be uploaded here on YouTube. Link will be in the description. Until next time.